Dear friends, in 20 years of guiding the Jewish people, rarely does someone come up to me and ask me, Reb Moshe, what should I be learning? It says in the Gemara Yuma 72b, Amar Rav Yeshua ben Levi, what does it mean of that which is written? Torah Sam Moshe. And this is the Torah that Moshe put Sam before the children of Israel. And it alludes to the following lesson, says the Gemara. Zacha, if one is deserving, Naseis lo Sam Chayim, the Torah becomes a drug Sam of life to him. Now, it says in Rashi, the Torah is only a gate for which one reaches fear of Hashem. Therefore, one who learns Torah without intends to enhance his fear of God will never realize the goal of his studies. His learning is a purposeless gate that leads to nowhere. So, like I originally said, in 20 years, one of the least questions I get, and I get all types of questions, you can't even imagine, but the least question I get is, Reb Moshe, what should I be studying? And I encounter people from all ages of the spectrum, some learning in Kolo for 20, 30 years, in yeshivas, some a few years in their 20s, trying to get this couple years in before they get married, they start to work. And I would say that 90% of people are learning the wrong things in the wrong order, if it's not 99.9%. I'm trying to be nice, looking in the positive. And we have an order of study. The first is Torah Biksav, the written Torah, Tanakh, the Bible, what everyone forgets about, and the Nevi'im, and the prophets, the Ksuvim, the Shmuel Aleph, Shmuel Beis, Eliyahu Navi. People know almost nothing of this. And from that was developed the Mishnah. From that comes the oral Torah. And even the oral Torah, people are jumping and jumping. We have people with smicha, the rabbinical titles, who wouldn't know anything if you questioned them about the Tanakh, the Bible, the basic Bible questions that they should know. And even basic things in the Mishnah, they're skipping, and this yeshiva skipping. They concentrate on 3 or 4 masechtas, certain pereks in the masechta. But you have people that are coming off as Talmidei Chachamim and rabbis who be lucky in 10, 20 years to ever finish the Talmud. So why such a wrong direction? Why such a wrong direction? And you see people with so many psychological problems today. And what did we just read? The Torah is a drug Sam for life. And I didn't read you the next part. It says, Lo zacha, if he's not deserving, Nasi so Sam Misa, becomes a drug of death to him. It goes on the Gemara, where one uses the Torah skillfully, it's a drug of life. Skillfully, meaning that you learn the right thing, you build yourself up as a Talmud Chacham. I know, maybe you think, I'm not going to become a rabbi, I'm not going to become a great scholar, so I'm just going to do what a lot of the rabbis say. I'm going to learn Daf Yomi, and that's it. I'll get everything I need. No. If you didn't learn the Mishnayos, you've never learned a Daf of Gemara. You don't know. There's a structure. There's a structure to our learning. All the great tzaddikim, Rish Lakish would come before Rav Yochanan, before he learned the daf with him. and he reviewed the Mishnayos beforehand 70 times before he learned the Talmud with them, to prepare himself. He was learning in the Mishnah in the Yoredea. It says that there's an opinion that even today there's no Talmidei Chachamim, because you can't go and ask a scholar today a question in the Gemara, in the Mishnah of Challah. You can't ask. They will know. They will know what you're talking about. If there was some familiarity, it would be enough. But they don't know Bichlal. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. But they're a scholar. So according to the no Talmidei Chachamim, because they don't know. Why don't they know? People are spending years in the biggest yeshivas in the world, and the yeshiva is not telling them to go and learn Mishnayos. I mean, come on. You're building the next generation of Talmidei Chachamim, of rabbis and great sages, and you're not going to tell them that before a baby goes and he walks, he has to crawl? Maybe you're listening about tshuva, you just became religious. Why are you learning 90% of your learning? Why is it Kabbalah? I'm Hasidish. Why are you learning so much Hasidus? When you don't have this, you can't even crawl. And then you've learned so much Kabbalah. You think I'm a wizard now. I'm a wizard. You have all this pride. But what do you know? What do you know? And then the person starts to experience emotional problems because there's an imbalance in their mind. Because the Torah becomes like a deaf to them. And I want to say it becomes confusing for them. It's not lishma. No, because they can't lower themselves to learn what all of us had to learn. The Tanakh, the Mishnayos, the foundational things. I'm not saying you can't learn these other things. You should learn also to learn what you enjoy. But to make it your priority. I have a friend, he told me, I told him I just finished the Mishnah Berurah or Chaim. He says, I finished that twice. I'm like, and I felt great. I was humbled by that. I'm glad for him. But after a few minutes, I realized, you know what? I know the guy has never finished Mishnayos. I doubt he did half of it. He has never learned Tanakh. Who was his rabbi? What yeshiva would sit there? I mean, it's great he knows halacha. He knows how to live a little bit. But he has no understanding of how to live. He just knows laws. No, there's a structure. Don't run away from the structure. That's how you build yourself as a Talmid Chacham. I don't care if you're working 40 hours a week or 80 hours a week. If you can go and do 20 minutes a day of Mishnah, it'll be far more valuable than your hour a day of Kabbalah, Hasidus, whatever it is. The question you need to be asking your rabbi, and the question you need to be asking yourself, is what do I need to be learning right now to become Yireh Shamayim, to fear Hashem, and to grow spiritually. And you need to believe in yourself. You can become a Talmid Chacham. Rabbi Akiva started at the age of 40. And then I have so many women, I advise them, I said, what are you learning? And they all want to learn the Talmud. And it's the same message to you. I love that. I respect that you crave the Torah and you want to get into the meat and potatoes. But you first have to eat. You have to eat your vegetables. You have to go and get some nutrition first. It's not something the women were supposed to jump into. It was only a few rare women that would learn the Talmud after they learned all the practical things. Why is it important for women to learn practical studies? I mean, you tell me. The man, he learns in the yeshiva, whatever. He's learning the things for a certain type of chachma and wisdom to grow. But he's not hands-on practical as much. He doesn't need to know the kashrus in the same way and the laws with the children as the woman who's actually bearing them and in the home and dealing with very practical things. So it's not an insult to you. I just finished a great halacha work. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Learn halacha, learn practical halacha, so you can raise your home, so you don't do averos all on Shabbos. In the practical things, the husband, he's away, he's not inside all the little things that happen, but you should know it. There's nothing wrong with that. And Tanakh, the Bible, why would you want to skip it? The Talmud says that the women should be learning the Tanakh. They should be learning the Parsha and what's wrong with that? I get to see very few women that know this. Embrace it. Be happy about it.